Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss some of the very basic problems of percentages. So the first question is on your screen right now. The price of a smartphone is increased by 15%. If the original price was rupees 400, what is the final price of the smartphone? So I told you there are two ways to do this. You take 15% of 400 and then add it, which comes out to be 460, or you use the multiplication factor. So 400 times 1 plus 15 by 100, and this is nothing but 400 plus 4 into 15, that is 60. So this comes out to be 460. New price would be 460, and this is your value. If 40% of a particular number is 180, then the number is... So again, a really interesting problem. 40% of something that we don't know is equal to 180. So what will be this something? How do we find it? There are various ways. So you can just form an equation. 40 by 100 times x is equal to 180. And now you solve it. But there is a second way which I prefer and which I really like. That is 40% of something is 180. So why not make it 40% plus 40% plus 20% of that thing will be 100% of that thing. So 40 is 180, 40% is again 180, and 20% is 180 divided by 2. So this is nothing but 180 plus 180 plus 180 divided by 2, which comes out to be 90. So 180 plus 180 is 360 plus 90 is 450. So this something comes out to be 450, and this is our answer. A woman spends rupees 4,200 per month and saves 16% of the total income. Her total monthly income is... So she earns, let's say, 100% and she spends something and she saves something. And this save is 16% of this 100%. Then this expenditure would be 84%. And this number is given to be 4200. So 84% of something is this. Then what is that something? Again, 84% of something is equal to 4200. Then this problem, 84 is not such a good number. So you can't directly take it, but you can see a very good relation over here. 84 into 5 is 420. How am I getting it? Because 84 divided by 2 is this. So 84 of x by 100 is equal to 4200. Now this is nothing but 50. So x comes out to be, this is your answer. Rahul's salary is 25% more than Amit's salary. By what percentage is Amit's salary less than Rahul's? So this is a problem that is really famous and actually troubled me when I first encountered this in grade 8. So someone's salary is 25% more than the other person. So let's say his salary is 100 and 25% more than that is 125. So this is Rahul and this is Amit. In our percentages class, we discussed that whatever comes after than is going to be the base. So in this case, when we are comparing what percentage is Amit's salary less than that of Rahul, we'll take the difference, that is 25. So the difference is 25 and the base would be Rahul this time, not Amit. Okay, 25 is the actual difference. And this time we are comparing with Rahul's salary, which is 125. Now you take times 100 to get your answer, which will come out to be 20%. If a water bill is paid before the due date, one gets a reduction of 5% on the amount of the bill, which equals 25. The total amount of the electricity bill was? Now 5% of something is equal to 25. Now if I take this 20 times, then it will be equal to 25 times 20. Now why am I taking this 20 times? Because 5 times 20 is 100%. So 100% of that thing would be 500. And this is your answer. A town's population first decreases by 20% and then increases by 20%. If the final population is 400 less than the original population, what was the original population? Now let's say that the town's population was 100%. Okay. Now if it decreases by 20%, that is, it's going to become 80. And then this, if increases by 20%, is going to become 96. How do I know this? Because 80's 20% is 16, so add it to 80. Now, effectively, the town's population actually decreased by 4%. And this 4% is nothing but the decrease in population, which is 400. Now, if 4% of something is 400, 1% would be 100 and 100% would be 10,000. So 100% of population is nothing but 10,000. And that's your answer. In a company, 40% of the employees are female. 20% of the female employees earn more than 50k, while 70% of the male employees earn less than 50k. What percentage of the total employees earn more than 50k? This is a very interesting problem because something of similar sort you are going to get in your CLAT exams. So 20% of this 40% earn greater than 50k. That means 20% of 40 is nothing but 8. So 8% of the total are female who earn greater than 50k. Also notice that if female is 40%, this is going to be 60%. And if males are 60%, then 70% of these males are going to earn less than 50k. So 70% of 60% are going to earn less than 50k. So this comes out to be 42%. And if this is 42% out of the 60%, then this is going to be 18%. And if this is 8% out of the 40%, then this is going to be 32%. So our question is, what percentage of the total earn greater than 50k? So this plus this. So add these two up, you are going to get 26%. And that's your answer. Now when we discussed about percentages, I introduced about the term called multiplication factor. It's nothing but if a number x is increasing by p%, then this is x times the multiplication factor, which is p by 100. Now, if this number is again increasing by some p2%, then the new number would be x times 1 plus p by 100 times 1 plus p2 by 100. So the new number is nothing but this. And using this concept, we can actually compute successive increase really fast. The value of a machine depreciates by 10% in the first year, 20% in the second year, and 25% in the third year. If the present value of the machine is 1 lakh rupees, what will be the value after 3 years? So all we need to do in this problem is write down the value, that is 1 lakh, and we are going to decrease it by 10% in the first year, 20% in the second year, and 25% in the third year. So if you just compute the fraction, it would be 9 by 10. This is going to be 8 by 10. This is 1 by 4. So we can leave it as 3 by 4. So this cancels 2 0. This is a 2. 9 3s are 27 times 2 is 54. So 54,000 would be the answer. Now petrol price increases by 25%. So a person needs to reduce his consumption to come back to the original cost. So the same that's going to happen, let's say the original price of petrol was 100 and now the price is 125. So what he needs to do is cut down his consumption. Now by what percentage should he reduce his consumption to come back to 100? Now for 125, let's say we get X liters of petrol. Now for 100, we are going to get X divided by 125 times 100 liters of petrol. And this comes out nothing but 4x by 5. So his consumption should go from X to 4x by 5. From X he needs to go to 4x by 5. So the change is X by 5. X minus 4x by 5 divided by X times 100, which is nothing but 20%. But there is a very interesting thing that we could have done. Now this is a proportional relationship, right? So if I assume that for 125 we get 125 liters of petrol, there is nothing wrong with that. So for 100 we are going to get 100 liters of petrol. So the man is decreasing from 125 liters to 100. The direction of the arrow is going to change. So it comes from 125 to 100, we need to find the percentage change. So that becomes very easy. So this will act as the base now. So it's going to be 125 minus 100, the change divided by 125 times 100. And this is nothing but 20%. And that's your answer again. The ratio between two numbers is 3:2. If 30% of the first number is 27, what would be 40% of the second number? So we haven't discussed ratio and proportions so far, but I can say that x by y be the two numbers whose ratio is 3:2. Now 30% of x is 27. So from here we can find out what x is going to be. X is nothing but 90. Now I just substituted the value of x here and got this equation. Now you can just cross multiply 2 here and 3 here. So it becomes 90 times 2 divided by 3 is equal to y, which comes out to be 60. Now this 60, we have to take 40% of it. So 60 times 40 divided by 100. So 2 zeros cancel out and this comes out to be 24. And this is your answer. So these concepts should brush up your basics and then we would be more comfortable with questions that come in CLAT.